This professional service form sets a really strong foundation, but were a few pieces on their homepage working harder than it needed to. Once we surface the part that really sets their firm apart, the dual qualified single team advantage, everything else started to line up. We also spotted a couple of small shifts in their hero and CTAs that would make their message land faster and harder with the right clients. This clarity gem is all about tightening what's already there and making their strengths easier to see. Let's get into it.
Hey, good morning. So we created Silk, and it's a tech platform providing legal services on an international scale. We pride ourselves by creating efficiencies and innovating in the legal industry. We do that by using AI to support our business and by making our legal that mobile, because we are all dual qualified attorneys, meaning that we can practice law in two different jurisdictions, and clients that need our services, they may just come to us without the need to having multiple attorneys in multiple jurisdictions, because they can just work with us and we can take care of their business and legal needs, for example, in the European Union and the US at the same time. We specialize in intellectual property, antitrust, and market regulation. And we help new business, startup, innovative business entering the market and establishing themselves as a leader in the market. And we support them in their growth path in the marketplace.
You said a couple of really interesting things there. So is it kind of rare to have a law firm that can do a practice in both the EU and the US for when it comes to IP, antitrust, innovation?
It is not rare, but because usually traditional law firms, they have multiple offices all around the world with attorneys based in different jurisdictions. So our innovation is that we are only dual qualified attorneys. That means that we don't have propagation like through multiple office. It's just the attorneys and the legal asset that is moving across jurisdiction and across continents rather than the firm, rather than the business. So we reduce overhead, bureaucratic costs, and we are able to offer a cost-effective solution because 2/3 of the cost of a law firm are just removed from the plate. And so clients get expert advice and direct communication with attorneys without having to deal with multiple attorneys and multiple offices.
Would you say in that case, the thing that's kind of really unique to your firm is the fact that like it's all kind of under one house? So essentially speaking, all the communications, the admin, you're talking to the same people, it's all in one place as opposed to maybe your competitors who are spread across, multiple HQs and you never are talking to the same person and there's a lot of, overlap and having to repeat yourself. Is that accurate?
That's perfect synthesis.
Awesome.
Yeah.
In that case, that's what I would call your messaging wedge, aka that thing that makes your firm incredibly different and or the thing that people feel relieved about when and why they choose you over your competitors, and something that you should spotlight across all of your marketing and all of your sales type of things. With that in mind, who is your ideal client? Is it startups? Is it Fortune 100 companies? Who's kind of the person who's hiring your firm for the stuff?
They can be both. It depends on the legal needs. So we definitely help. We have clients in South Korea, innovative startups. They need to enter the market, for example, in the US or the EU, and they need someone to tell them what they have to do in terms of compliance, so that they don't receive any kind of surprise down the pipeline with some investigation by the European Commission or the FTC or the DOJ. So they need to create an environment for the business to grow. And the best way to do that is to be compliant with regulation, especially in some sectors that are highly regulated. We're talking about startup that may deal with health information of patients, because the AI system they offer create efficiencies in the provision of healthcare services. Or we're talking about innovative business in the entertainment industries, where they need to, for example, create copyrights or other intellectual properties for their business, and they need to license these assets to other firms here in the US. But we also help because of our experience. We worked in the EU with the European Commissions in the past, other international law firms. In our practice, we did work with multinational companies. And so we help them, for example, with merger control review when they acquire new companies and they need trigger an investigation from the European Commission or the FTC here in the US. Most of the time, these type of investigations occur simultaneously, because when there is a big deal, a big transactions, regulatory agencies in both jurisdictions, they want to look on the effects of this transaction on the marketplace. So we do have also clients with that kind of need, especially in relation to transactions and acquisitions of other businesses. And obviously, one of our attribute is that we can provide coordinated and streamlined legal assistance among different jurisdictions. That may be really important when this business needs to define a strategy, a unitary strategy, to deal with different agencies in different jurisdictions. So
to kind of sum it up, a lot of what it is either kind of an international startup entering the US or the EU market, or, kind of right ahead in front of a big regulatory type of thing where they're kind of making big moves. Is that accurate?
Yes, it is accurate. Yes.
Cool. So the first thing I am seeing on your homepage is legal strategy for global innovation as your kind of H1. And then I see headquartered in Manhattan. We are the critical link across markets for international innovative ventures, eliminate knowledge barriers and research gaps. And then I see it's effectively 4 CTAs: experience, expertise, efficiency, and attorneys. So the immediate first thing I'm thinking is, nowhere in here is it actually talking about the kind of the main services that you provide, or who your clientele is, or even kind of that messaging wedge of the fact that, hey, we actually have a very unique model that makes it not only cost effective, but also way easier to work with us than any of these other firms. And ideally, you want to have all of that kind of specified to right above the fold right here. So my question to you is, have you thought about changing your H1 and your subhead, where you still can keep global innovation, you can still keep headquartered in New York, but then kind of put in something in there that says like, hey, we work with startups who are international startups looking to enter the EU and the US market, or kind of make big moves? Have you thought about adding that as your H1 so it's immediately clear what you do?
Not really, because what we are trying to do here on the first page, on the homepage of the website, is to create a kind of outline. So that's a good advice from you. So the website is built as a pyramid. So we start from the top, what we do in very generic terms, and why we do that in a good way. So clients may just mingle.
Yeah. So what I'm actually saying is like, that suggestion would actually help you create that same outline or that same pyramid and make it even more effective, because then at that point they're dropping onto your homepage and they're literally within 3 seconds going to be able to see exactly what you're about. And then at that point, you're letting them kind of have that choose your own adventure.
Yes, that's a great advice, like to just create something that is more specific to our customer, so they know that we are talking about them here, right? That's what you mean?
Yeah, because then at that point, you're hooking them. You're kind of hooking them right off the bat, and then they're going to be even more curious to dive deeper into what you'd call your pyramid of services, which would be your experience, your expertise, your efficiency. So I would say it's like, keep the same buttons, but I would just maybe move them below your hero section, so that at that point they already know why they're there, and then they can dive in deeper, and that's going to make them way more likely to book a consultation with you, or to sign up to your newsletter, which I know are your main call to actions.
Yes. So
I would say keep those buttons, but make them just be a little bit farther down the page. And then my next question to you is the immediate thing that's immediately clear is I'm going to assume some of these people have already heard of you. Maybe it's word of mouth or referral and stuff like that. There is not one button above the fold that makes it easy for someone to schedule a consultation or to sign up to your newsletter. So instead of that gigantic attorney's button, change that to a CTA that literally just says book a free consultation or book your paid consultation, whatever it is. And then maybe also put that within your navigation menu. That is instantly, can almost guarantee across dozens of clarity jams and all of the work I do with clients will instantly boost the number of calls you have.
Makes sense. Yeah. Yeah.
So
I mean,
if you
we
want to
do,
scroll to
yeah.
the next section where it says attorneys, I like this.
Yeah.
My recommendation to you is, can you add like, a 1 or 2 sentence blurb for each one of you guys that just kind of signals and kind of reinforces the fact, hey, it's all under one umbrella. You're not going to be shifted from one HQ to the next. Who you see here is who you're going to be working with.
Yes.
Yeah, for each person. And plus, you can also have the opportunity to give some personality. So you're not just another global innovation practice law firm. You're, this is why we hire your company and not any other company.
Yeah. So what you are describing are all informations that are in the website, but just not on the homepage. So it makes sense to create probably to take some statements, something from that information which is clearly expanded in the website, and just put on the homepage so that there is a direct link or where clients can really capture the potential client's attention.
Yeah, exactly. Like nothing here, I suspect that pretty much everything I'm saying is already all over your website. I'm just telling you to bring it up to the forefront.
Yes,
and it's going to help you convert a lot more people.
Yes, absolutely.
So
it makes sense.
It's not a rewrite. It's more just take all the information you already have and just repackage it so that it makes it way easier to kind of get the actions you want, which is either to book a call or to sign up for your newsletter. So if you want to scroll down to the next section, leadership and publications, I like this. There's not really anything here. It's fine as is. Keep scrolling. Cool. So now what I would have you here is, before you kind of get to that footer, I would add another section right here that's literally just a final CTA that kind of encourages people to book a call. So you'll often see this across kind of a lot of other professional service sites. You'll have a section right below it where it's literally like, hey, ready to get started, book a call. That's just another way to kind of reinforce and make it incredibly easy for someone who's on the fence or already convinced so that they can actually book something with you. And then also within the footer, I would also add a plug in to kind of subscribe to your newsletter. So that, again, if there's people who aren't ready yet to book a call, you're still kind of capturing some of those people and you're getting their email list. You're getting their email. You can send them emails. You can kind of nurture them along so that when they are ready, or maybe they know someone who is ready, you're the first one who's top of mind.
Yeah, because the newsletter, for the kind of content we generate, is one of the most important assets on the website, because there are very useful information for clients and very updated information so that they can have an immediate sense of what's happening around the world.
Even more of a reason to add that into your footer. And also, I would maybe even say within your leadership, publications, and representation section, have another one, or just replace one of these. Maybe replace digital economy and content creators with your newsletter, so that it's even more front and center and even more likely to kind of get a lot more people, a lot more eyes on it, and a lot more subscribers.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Anything else before we wrap up?
I mean, thank you very much for your review and advice of the website, the homepage of the website. And how do you think this kind of presentation of our business, what we do, where the innovation is, where the efficiencies are, what do you think that in comparison, for example, to other websites, to other similar business that you may have analyzed before?
That's a great question. I would say, to be totally candid, you have all of the right pieces, but you're burying like the thing that makes you the most unique. You're kind of burying your wedge. You kind of articulated it better on this podcast than you have on your website right now, where it's like, I would spell out and lean into that wedge of the fact that, hey, we're all under one roof. You're not going to be separated across many different HQs and have to repeat yourself over and over again. Plus, also, we're more cost effective. And kind of lean into your technical your tech IP as well. It's just a really easy way to communicate that more effectively and drive a lot more consultations and drive a lot more subscribers to your newsletter.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This was very helpful.
Thank you so much for jumping on to Query Jams.